Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video we are going to see for loop. If you are new here, please consider subscribing so you won't miss any future content. Now let's start the video. Yes, so let's see where exactly we use for loop and why we need for loop. Okay, so suppose I want to print hello world, okay, 100 times. That time what we have to do is we need to write log, okay, console.log and then hello world. So this is the one, okay, if I print it will only print one, okay. Let's suppose I want to do 10 times, so I have to write 10 times this one, okay. So now I have written 10 times, now I can print it. Suppose this is the same code I want to run 1000 times, I want hello world 1000 times, okay. This is not the actual scenario, but I'm just saying if I want to print this that many times, I have to write that many lines of code, okay, clg and all. So instead of this, what we can do is we can use for loop, okay. With the for loop we can define a limit it to loop it, okay. So multiple time this particular, only if we have single line it will going to print whatever value we give, like suppose 10 or 100, that many times it will automatically going to run this piece of code, okay. So let's see how we can create a for loop first, okay. For that you have to write for and then parenthesis. In this we have to write a condition, so that we'll discuss, and then we'll have the block of code, okay. So this is the block. So here in this block I want to print hello world, okay. So this is the piece of code I want to run multiple times. So for loop is nothing but why we use it. In order to run a piece of code multiple times we use for loop, okay. So let's discuss about the condition, how we will have the condition, okay. First thing, you have to give the start value comma, then we have the condition, okay, which returns true or false, it will going to say, and then we have the increment of value, okay. So that we have to do in the third one. So here in this what we can write is let count equal to 0, okay. You have to define the variable here, okay, so with a 0 value. So if you want to start from 2, you can do 2, or let's say for now is 0, okay. So I want to have the start value as count as 0, then I'll do semicolon for next condition to write, okay. So next condition what I'll say is count is less than or equal to 10, okay. Whenever count is less than or equal to 10, I should be running this particular block, okay. Whenever the count is exceed to this particular value, it will going to stop, okay, stop the for loop. So then we have to increment the count value, so I'll say count plus plus, okay. So this is the post increment, so whenever this block ran, it will going to increment the count value, okay. So this is how a simple for loop we can create, okay. Now let's try to run this. So let's me open the new terminal, and with the help of node we can run this file, which is 17 forloop.js, okay. Now let's run. Now you see we got hello world 10 times, okay. So what exactly here it will happen is, at the start the count is 0, and it will check the condition, which is 0 less than or equal to 10, which is true, okay. So here is the count, right? Count is 0 at the first stage. It will say 0 less than or 10. Yes, it is uh, true. So once it's true, it will print this and it will increment the count, okay. It will increment the count to plus 1, and then it will again check it, okay. So 1 less than or equal to 10, is it true? Yes. So it will loop it, okay. It will continuously loop this until unless we'll reach a condition where we can see the count will be 11, and it will say 11 less than or equal to 10, which is a false condition. Whenever the condition which we have given it is false, it will break the loop and it will end this loop particular block, okay. So this is how a simple for loop will work, okay. Yes. Let's see one more example what we can do. If you want to print numbers, okay, suppose from 0 to 100 you want to print numbers, okay. So for that what you can do is same thing, for loop you can create, let count equal to 0, and let's say count is less than or equal to 100, I'll say. And one more thing in the condition is it should not be like double equal to, triple equal to. This will not going to work. You should be having less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So this kind of conditions you can do. And then increment count plus plus I'll do. And in the block, what I'll do is I'll just console. Here I'll say value and space and comma, I'll say count here. Okay, so we want to print the value from 0 to 100. Okay, so now if I do this, it will going to print all the values from 0 to 100, because count will be 0 and it will going to increment till 100. So all the 100 values we can print this way. Okay, so let me open new terminal and let's run this. So node 17, and now you see all the values, okay, from 0 to 100, all the values we got this here. Okay, so if suppose you want to run this particular loop from value 20, okay, and save it, from 20 to 100 you want to run. Okay, so the start value is 20. Now let's clear this and let me run this again. So the start value now will be 20. Here you see, this is the earlier values, but here you see 20 and started to till 100. Okay, so this is how you can run a for loop or use for loop. Okay. Yes, so this is about for loops in JavaScript. In future, we are going to have few projects where we can use for loops and see more into the for loop, how we can use and where we can use. But for now, for loop, this is it. And thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing and give it a like. I'll be back with more content in the next video. Thank you.